Hello everyone, JV Throws here, back with another video. As you know, 2020 was a chaotic year. A worldwide pandemic affected many things, including theme parks. Lots of new rides got delayed and many theme parks got closed. But some parks actually managed to open during the midst of the chaos. A good example of this is Six Flags Fiesta Texas in San Antonio, Texas. It's already amazing that Fiesta Texas got to open during the pandemic. But what makes it more amazing is that their new for 2020 attraction, Daredevil Dive Flying Machines, actually got to open on time. The ride didn't have much delays, and construction went well until finally it opened in December. Overall, this is awesome, and after going to Fiesta Texas in January, I actually got to ride this ride. So in today's video, I'm going to review Daredevil Dive Flying Machines, and explain why this flat ride exceeded my expectations, and will probably exceed yours as well. Before I start the video, I would like to say thank you to all of you who got me to 500 subscribers. It really means a lot. But also, thank you to all of you who is about to get me to 600 subscribers. Right now, as I'm making this video, I'm at 597 subscribers. And I bet by the time this video comes out, it'll be at 600. So again, thank you so much. I really didn't expect getting this far. Expect my 600 subscriber special really soon. And to those of you who are new to my channel, if you like my content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and tap the notification bell to know when new videos are coming out on my channel. But anyways, let's get into today's video. Daredevil Dive Flying Machines. This ride really exceeded my expectations. It surprised me so much in my result that I had to make a review on it, because this ride needs to get talked about way more. If you remember, I did review series earlier in my channel, and I had this whole complex system of reviewing rides. But after looking back at it, I realized how unfair it rated rides. So I decided to give this series a reboot, and now there's a new way to review and rate rides and attractions. So let me quickly explain how the new rating system works. In every ride and review episode, I will either be reviewing a roller coaster or flat ride. Each of these have separate rating systems. But because today I'm reviewing Daredevil Dive Flying Machines, I'll be showing you how the rating system for flat rides works. For a flat ride, I have 5 categories that in my opinion decides how good the ride is. Thrill, experience, theming, comfort, and bonus. Each category is worth 20 points. And after the ride gets a score in each category, they add up to make a final grade. The final score is graded like a test is graded at school. 75 is barely passing, 85 is mediocre, and 90 to 100 is commended/A+. So today we are reviewing Daredevil Dive Flying Machines at Six Flags Fiesta Texas and seeing how good a score it gets. But first, let me talk about the ride type and its statistics. Daredevil Dive Flying Machines is an Imperial Super Air Race, one of the first of its type to be added in the Six Flags chain. The ride stands at 48 feet, making it the world's tallest Imperial Super Air Race. Plus, with this ride being the first of its type in the Six Flags chain, I wouldn't be surprised if it got cloned throughout the whole Six Flags chain. And I'll explain why later. The ride is located in the Crack Axle Canyon part of the park, which is now called the Screampunk District, since Daredevil Dive Flying Machines caused the whole area to be rethemed. Overall, I love this retheme, and it makes Daredevil Dive Flying Machines fit in with the area. But now, let's rate the ride itself. Starting off with the first category, Thrill. Just by looking at this ride from far away, you can tell this ride is meant for thrill. The ride starts off by you boarding an airplane, and suddenly you start spinning around in circles, before the plane starts swinging almost like a pendulum. As the ride continues, the whole attraction itself starts getting lifted up in the air. And as you go higher, almost like an elevator, the planes start doing barrel rolls. But not like super fast. The planes almost stall in the air, giving you amazing hang time during the whole attraction. And after doing this for a few minutes, the ride goes back down and the ride cycle is complete. The ride seems very simple and standard, almost like any other carnival ride you've seen. But really, the ride does give a very different experience than other carnival attractions. The ride's hang time is amazing. I love hang time. It's the only reason why I like Larson Loops. But this one takes hang time to a whole new level. Its hang time reminds me of Harley Quinn's Insanity at Six Flags Over Texas, which is currently my favorite flat ride. The reason why is because the amount of hang time it gives, and the crazy distorted experience it has. And like this ride, Daredevil Dive Flying Machines has similar elements. It really is a distorted experience. You don't know what's up, you don't know what's down, you don't know where you're going, and you get all types of hang time. Some would call it chaos, but actually I don't like to give that name to this attraction. It's not chaos, it's controlled chaos. The difference between the two is that chaos is almost like a 4D SNS free spin, a ride that changes every time, but controlled chaos is when the ride is similar every time, but still gives an amazing and chaotic experience. This ride is different than SNS free spins because each plane and each experience isn't different. They're about the same. While yes, some planes spin faster than the others, it'll still be the same every ride. And because it doesn't spin too fast, you don't get sick. So overall, I would call it perfectly balanced. So my final score for Daredevil Dive Flying Machines in the thrill category is a 20. It has just the amount of thrill to not make you too sick, and just the amount of thrill to have a lot of fun. So I think a 20 is a perfect score for this attraction in that category. So now, let's move on to the next category, experience. Experience, like thrill, is one of the main things that decides whether a flat ride is good or not, in my opinion. What I mean by experience is the fun you had in this attraction. If it just spins around and makes you sick, like Catwoman Whip, then it isn't a good ride. But if you had fun on it, and you enjoyed it, then it's a great ride. And this ride did really good with experience. First of all, this ride really sets the mood for you, even before getting on it. The music adds some effect to you. It makes you feel a little bit excited / anxious to ride. But also the theming draws you in more to the attraction. It makes you feel less scared and overall excited to ride. I saw these effects work for my siblings. They aren't really excited for scary type rides like this one, but the music, the noise, and all the effects really drew them in, and overall made them excited to ride it. And then once they got on, it just added more. Getting on, the experience was just straight up fun. I rode the ride 5 times, and in all those 5 times, I didn't see anyone scared. Everyone was cheering and laughing throughout the entire attraction. Even those who chickened out in the attraction had fun watching it. So overall, my final score for the experience category is a 20. The ride is just meant to have fun, and I really like how it does that. So I think a 25 is also a good score for that category. Now let's move on to the next category, theming. While some may say theming is not important in deciding whether or not a flat ride is good, I disagree because theming is what makes a ride more memorable, and without it, you might just forget about it. And Fiesta Texas has done a really good job with their theming. Lots of rides are heavily themed, even if it's a flat ride. So does Daredevil Dive Flying Machines live up to the same expectations as the other flat rides at Fiesta Texas? Definitely. At daytime, the theming is already actually pretty good, with some inventions in the queue line that actually move and make noises, a pretty immersive show building with gears spinning and noises going around, and the best part, onboard soundtrack. The soundtrack is so amazing, I love it. And while there's no official video of the complete soundtrack yet, I really hope Six Flags releases it soon, cause I love it and I would love to listen to it. Oh yeah, and there's actual fire shooting around the attraction. That actually works. But then, as soon as the sun goes down and it gets dark, the theming goes up to a whole nother level. First off, the mood changes to a more epic feel, and now the effects really have its time to shine. Starting off with the entrance sign with the ride's name on it. It now shoots fire, almost daring riders to step inside. Then the invention I talked about earlier moves more and starts shooting out fog, with warning noises and blinking lights all around. The queue house also gets an upgrade with a more chaotic feel at night, with lights flickering, warning noises going off, machinery turning on, and the occasional fog effects. Overall, at night, the theming is stepped up to a whole other level, and it's actually really cool. I really love what Fiesta Texas did for the ride, and I really wish more Six Flags parks did this. So my final score for the theming category is obviously a 20. The theming is amazing, and so far it's been working daily, so keep it up, Fiesta Texas. So let's move on to the next category, comfort. Again, some may argue that comfort is not important when it comes to deciding whether or not a ride is good or not. But how could you enjoy a ride if it's not comfortable? If the restraints hurt you, you won't have fun during the ride. And because the restraints is something that's always there during the ride, it can make or break an attraction. So how's Daredevil Dive Flying Machines restraints? Honestly, while they are very bulky, I think they are okay. But there is a slight issue with them. In the front, the seats are actually not that bad, and they seem very comfortable. But in the back, for some reason, there's a big difference. I don't know if it's because in the back, the seats are higher than the front, but it feels more claustrophobic in the back, and a bit tight. Also, while the restraints are kinda comfortable, I do wish they weren't so bulky. But at least they're not as bulky as Harley Quinn's Vinsanity's restraints. So because of these factors, I give the score a 15. 5 points off because it's not consistent. The front is very comfortable, but in the back it's a little bit more claustrophobic and it feels kinda tight back there. So if you're looking for a more open experience, I suggest sitting in the front. But anyways, let's go on to the next category, the final one, bonus. The bonus category is where I check the ride to see if there's any extra things that I like about this attraction, and give it some bonus points. For example, if the ride has an experience that's only special to it, that I actually really liked, or if its theming had something special that I liked about it. So does Daredevil Dive Flying Machines have any bonus points? Yes, it does. This ride has an onboard soundtrack, which is really rare for it. And it's not just some reused soundtrack either. It specifically designed music for this ride. So all that extra work to create a song just for a ride, it deserves to be recognized. Also, it gets more bonus points for the fire effects. I love how they put it around the attraction and that it shoots up randomly. And when the ride swings next to it, you can actually feel the heat to add some more intensity to the ride. So for the final score, in the bonus category, I give it a 20. Fiesta Texas went above and beyond for this attraction, and its result was an amazing attraction. So great job, Fiesta Texas. Now, let's add up all the scores from each of the categories to get the final grade for the rating of Daredevil Dive Flying Machines. In thrill we got 20, in experience we also got 20, theming was also a 20, comfort was a 15, and finally bonus was a 20. Adding them all up, we get a 95, an A+ score. This score definitely suits the attraction, and it really is great. I can't emphasize how good this ride is. It's so much fun to ride, I would totally ride it again and again, and it's fun to walk through its queue. So if you're going to Fiesta Texas, I definitely recommend riding this attraction. But anyways, what do you think of my review? Is it a fair score? Does it deserve lower or deserve higher? Comment down below. But anyways, thank you for watching. This is JV Thrills signing out.